am incredibly excited because today I'm heading to Swindon to visit LittleSewNSew Quilt Shop. And they are holding a workshop today, which is to do with using your walking foot for quilting. Now, I have spent the last couple of years really concentrating on my patchwork, my pattern creation, blocks, and I have very much neglected my quilting skills in terms of actually quilting my quilt sandwiches. So today I'm very excited to kind of get my machine set up and do some really good practicing with my walking foot and doing some quilting. I've got to take my sewing machine with me, so I need to pack that up and get that in my car. They've also sent a kind of kit list of things that we need to take. Now, I have done some prep ahead of time. So this weekend I have prepared lots and lots of little mini quilt sandwiches. This is using some of the gorgeous Lewis and Irene fabrics. So I've got some purples and some kind of pinky purples. So I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 8 of those. Those are 10 by 10 inch squares, and then they also have asked us to bring one large piece. I think this was 24 by 24. Oh, I've got some felt on there. So I've got a nice large piece here, which has all been basted. Now, I am a spray baster, so everything has been spray basted with the 505 spray. I actually need to get some more of this. I've only got about a quarter of a tin left, but all of these have been prepped. I've got a bit of spare fabric to take just in case. So that was the first part. Now we need some other kit as well. So in my little box here, now these are so handy. This is part of the little nesting boxes from Missouri Star. I've got scissors, washi tape, little assortment of washi tape and kind of guides that I can use, some spare needles for my sewing machine. We need size 80 and size 90, so I've got plenty of those. My rotary cutter, definitely need that. Little chalk pencil, I'm not sure if I need that. Now, we've been asked to bring some kind of marking pen, so I've bought an air erasable and a water erasable pen. One blue, one purple. Some snips, because you always need snips. Oh, I have actually remembered to pack my glasses. I've been to classes before and forgot to take my glasses, so let's not do that today. I've got some pins and a few clips, pen, and then I've just grabbed an assortment of quilting cotton. So I've got blue, grey, cream and white, unpicker and pencil. So I've got all of that packed in here. Well, I did. Now I'm going to have to repack it quickly. It's like a little lunchbox. Glasses in. Now I'm also taking some rulers. So I've got in my bag, I've got a long ruler and a square ruler and a smaller ruler. So I'm going to take all of these. So these can go straight into the bag, lay flat in the bottom. Got a nice big bag to take. Do you know, it dawned on me when I was packing that I haven't actually got like a quilted bag, and I feel like I should have one. Right, let's put these in next. Actually, no, do you know what? Let's put ruler in. Now, I've also got notebook and some paper. I'm guessing we're going to be doing some practicing before we actually get started. And then in here, I've got my entire Bernina manual. So that needs to come as well, just in case. So I'm going to pack all of those inside that folder, and that can go in. I'm going to pop that in. Right, let's get this in the bag. Sandwiches. I also need to take some actual sandwiches. Right, I then need to pack up my sewing machine. So I've got my cable and my foot. So that can all go in here as well. And then I just need to pop this in the car along with my sewing machine. These sewing machines are so heavy. I'm going to remove my extra wide base. There we go. Right, we're ready. We can pack up the car. Let's just do one last check. Yeah, I think we're good. So I'm going to do the school drop-offs, and then we're going to head over to Swindon, and hopefully I will film some bits throughout the day to show you kind of how the class is getting on. But I'll see you soon. I arrived and got myself all set up. I've got all my quilt sandwiches here, my machine plugged in and ready to go. And of course, I grabbed myself a scone because who doesn't need that? Now, my sewing machine is a Bernina. It's quite a fancy pants one, and it does actually come with a dual feed. So this is something that you can kind of clip on and get to work, and it acts like a built-in walking foot. I actually keep it on all the time. However, the lovely class teacher gave me a walking foot to actually try, and of course, I then had to immediately invest in one, and I'm waiting for it to arrive in the post. Now, we started off by doing some really simple straight line quilting, just getting used to, you know, for me, using a walking foot, which does work differently to the dual feed, and working out what stitch length we like and kind of like distancing and things like that. Just getting used to all the bits and pieces that we're going to be doing over the day. And I really enjoyed it. Now, one thing I loved doing was some matchstick quilting, which involved tiny, teeny lines. This is the basis of them here. And then we did some wiggly curly lines. Now, this was fun. This was really freeing, and it's not normally something that I would do in quilting, but it's definitely something that I'm going to do more of. As the day went on, I realised just how rusty my quilting skills have actually got. I've been concentrating so much on the patchwork and the piecing elements that I've really, not been looking after my quilting skills. So it was good fun, and it was a good chance for me to really get to know this new sewing machine as well and practice my skills. And I think that's the goal, isn't it, with quilting? It's almost building up muscle memory and just repeating over and over again. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a whole bunch of quilt sandwiches when I get home and just have them by my machine and just periodically grab one and do some. I also am desperate to try out all the different decorative stitches on my sewing machine. Let me give you a little room tour. There was lots of samples and things on the walls, just to kind of give you more inspiration. And we were kind of looking at the basics of quilting techniques today, but actually there is really so much you can do and so many different variations. So I hope you enjoy seeing all these samples that were kind of around and about in the classroom, and these particular ones were made by the class teacher. I'm now home. It has been the most full-on but most fun day. Just really practicing, getting used to sewing or quilting on my domestic sewing machine. So earlier on this year, I actually invested in a brand new Bernina. I've got a Bernina 570, B570 Quilters Edition. It is a bit all singing or dancing, and to be honest, it overwhelmed me a little bit because my other one was a much more basic model. So I wanted to spend a bit of time with the wonderful Maggie at the sewing class today and just have a real masterclass on quilting with this machine. Maggie also sews with a Bernina, so she knew all the ins and outs. She was talking me through all the tricks, tips, just everything, and it was just the most amazing class. So I thought I would show you some of the samples that we did, because it really was a day of samples. Just going to cut some of these loose threads to make it look a bit tidier. So we made some, so we've used masking tape for the like registration marks, and I've got some little tape here, so this can just be picked off and put on, but I'm going to leave it on because it's quite handy to remind me of what I did. So we did some matchstick quilting. So this is, I think these were about 1/4 of an inch apart. Yeah, so we did 1/2 inch lines and then split them down the middle, and I think this was my favourite, possibly my favourite. And then I've come home and had another go at some matchstick quilting here using my dual feed and just a normal patchwork foot. So this is all done using a walking foot, and these are done using a dual feed. So the Bernina, the sort of all singing all dancing Bernina version that I've got, has something called a dual feed, so it's kind of like a built-in walking foot, but I understand it's not as powerful. So when I'm actually doing my patchwork and quilting, so when I've got lots of seams and things, it may not hold up as well as a walking foot. So obviously today I've ordered myself a walking foot because what's a girl to do? And whereas previously I've used the dual feed. So I've come home and had a go at this. And I actually used a ruler. So I got sent this ruler from Missouri Star, and it's not a quilting ruler as such, but it does have a really nice flat edge. So all I did is I lined the edge of my foot up to get my measurements, and then I used that to kind of sew up and down. So I've got 1 inch in between each. So I thought that was a really cool effect. It's almost like a piano keys. So you can see the back. So that's one of the samples. We then had a go at some wiggly lines, wavy lines. I think you can probably see it better on the back. I'm using this gorgeous Lewis and Irene fabric for all my samples. Let me just try and make sure there we go. So we did some close together, we did a little bit of echo, and then we've done some further apart. Obviously the further apart you get, the kind of lumpier it gets in the middle, but I actually really like that effect. It feels really nice. The closer together the quilting, you know, the kind of more dense you get, the less puffiness you get. So the ones that are a bit further apart, you've got this puffy bit, but I love that. So I'm going to finish that sheet. We then did, oh, this is a good one. So I think this one was called, what was this called? I think this is called Sunburst, and you have to ignore my threads because we were sewing to the end, we just left them. It kind of all radiates out from the center. So ignore my seam, ignore my thread. So you mark your center point and then you mark distances all the way around the edge, and then you sew from one side to, you know, the other. And it gives this really, really, really cool effect. I love doing this one. I can imagine doing this one on, potentially doing some of this on my Tilda quilt that I've got sandwiched up ready to quilt. Then we kind of did, so there's 3 on here and I've got one empty one to finish. I can't remember. Oh, I know what that one was. So this is the radiating one. So we found the center point and we just marked out into the edges. Then this one down here is, this one down here is going to be the same again, but we're going to start in here rather than here. So it will look slightly different. I really liked this one, the diagonal. And Maggie, the teacher, had actually done it in the opposite direction as well. So I thought I might have a go at doing that. I might possibly do that in this one. And then this one, which, yeah, this one took some brain power. Let me just get that. There we go. So you go, there's one straight line, one diagonal line. You start in the middle and you come out and then you go the opposite direction. There we go, you can see that there. So that's the diagonal and that's the radiating. So I really enjoyed that. And then we've come home and I've got a couple of extra sandwiches that I've put together. And what I want to do is play around with all the decorative stitches on my sewing machine and make myself like a little stitch guide. I normally encourage you to do this, and I think I definitely did do one with my machine, but there's so many stitches on here. I'm going to do another one, a fresh one, and I'm going to do yeah, some different designs that I've never really stitched out before. So I'm doing some kind of like tulips, some little daisies, and I'm going to finish that probably over the course of the week, so I'll probably have to show you that in a later video. But I had so much fun today. It was really, really, really good fun. It was just what I needed. And of course, I came home with some goodies. So let me share those with you. So of course, I had to come away with some fabric. So I got some gorgeous fat quarters. These are kind of like, they're very sort of Japanesey style. Just loved these. That's a duplicate of that one. This one. It's got a little bit of metallic through it. This is the like gold metallic. And this one. And then just this really cute little pinky. Now, I don't have a lot of yellow in my stash, so when I saw these two, I just thought they were perfect. Just little fillers, and I actually thought these are very kind of Laurie Holt-esque. I don't know who this is by, doesn't have any salvage on it, but I thought I could mix this in with some Laurie Holts. Yeah, don't you think? Those look very sort of Laurie Holt-y. And then I got 2 of these. So, a lovely little haul. I also picked up another Aurifil. I bought 2 Aurifils at the Festival of Quilts, and one of them had been cut. And I don't know what happened. It's obviously just a defect or whatever. But when I tried to sew with it, you get so far and then it just breaks continuously. I'm literally covered in thread. So I think, yeah, I think it's just a bit of a defect. And I can't remember which store I bought it from. So I've put that one in the bin. So I'm almost out of the other one I bought too. So I've bought this one. Then I bought some sewing needles. So I've got, now I've been using these needles, and I've picked some of the Microtex needles up for patchwork. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there, and I've picked up some universals for quilting. So I've got those, and then I also picked up some self-threading needles. Now these I didn't even know existed. They're easy to thread needles, lots of different sizes, but I mean there's one kind of massive one and then these are similar. Basically the top of the eye is shaped like that, so you just push your thread down and it clips it, and then you can use it without needing to thread the eye of the needle every time. And I think for putting my threads to the back and so on and so forth, this is what we were using in the class today. So grabbed a pack of those. So different needles, a little bit of fabric haul just to kind of go in my stash, and some thread. So altogether a really good day. Now what else has been going on this week? I have now received my Lewis and Irene fabric bundles. I'm so excited to show them to you, but I want to get them all organised and work out what bundles I'm going to put together and then put them all in my shop. And I want to get that all done by this time next week. So when you're watching this, it will be Wednesday night. I want to have them all in my shop by next Wednesday, and then we can do like a proper show and tell. That's my goal. So yeah, that's what I'll do with that. I'm not going to show you that on today's video. Today's video was all about quilting and just reminding you that no matter how far you come, there's always something new you can learn. Don't be afraid to kind of go right back to basics. That's basically what I've done today. Right back to basics in quilting. Had a really good think about the needles that are compatible with my machine, the threads that I want to use, the fabrics, the wadding, and just the designs, and just getting to know how a walking foot feels versus the dual feed in my machine. And just, yeah, just having a really good play. And do you know what, it was lovely to go somewhere that's out of my sewing space, to be with like-minded people, with just the most fantastic teacher, and just had so much fun. So yeah, I feel very fulfilled, very happy, and I'm going to sit here now for a couple of hours and work on my decorative stitches and yeah, get that sample finished.